On May 9, 2025, Funky Friday finally dropped its long-awaited engine update 2.5 years after the last major patch, the Sonic Prime update back in 2022. Fans were hyped, the community was buzzing, but once the update went live, it quickly became clear that this was not the comeback that anyone hoped for. Instead, it was a complete disaster. So in today's video, we are breaking down exactly what went wrong, from the biggest mistakes the devs made, to what they need to fix to bring the game back on track. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. The purpose behind Funky Friday's new engine update was to completely rebuild the game from the ground up. That means everything from the old engine was meant to be replaced. New systems, new mechanics, a full overhaul. At first, this sounded like a good thing. But when the update finally dropped, players quickly started noticing problems. The settings menu, way too complicated, bugs everywhere. Some settings wouldn't even save, and the gameplay, a lot of people are calling it flat out unplayable. There's a lot more to cover, but before we get to all of those specific issues, let's take a closer look at the major mistakes that turned this update into such a mess. Let's talk about one of the first major issues, arrow presets and customization during gameplay. Players, including a lot of us, expected to be able to save our custom arrow styles as presets. And technically, you can, but there's a catch. The game doesn't give you any confirmation that a new preset was actually created. No pop-up, no sound, nothing. You have to manually double check to see if it's saved properly, which feels clunky and outdated. It's a small thing, but it adds unnecessary frustration. Then there's the issue during matches. You're supposed to be able to switch your arrow style mid-game, just like in the old engine. And while the menu shows the change did when true, the actual gameplay doesn't reflect that at all. The arrows stay the same, no matter what you pick. Even if the changes are applied, you need to finish playing the song, then select the song that you want to play once again, just to get the new arrows to be shown, which is insanely inconvenient for me. Another small but annoying issue that I found is the fact that even if I change my arrow to the skin that I want, rejoining the game just resets your arrow to your last used arrow. And this has been happening to me ever since the new engine came out, meaning that I have to change my arrow before starting a session every time I join a game, which is horrible. This is something the old engine handled just fine, so losing that feature in a new and improved update makes no sense. The next major issue that was found is about the new long note missing mechanics. Unlike regular notes that you just tap once, long notes require two actions, holding down and releasing. So it's two timing windows instead of one. Let's compare both engines' capability on these long notes. In the old engine, if you release a long note too early, it would decrease your accuracy. But in the new engine, doing the same thing would not only decrease your accuracy, but a miss as well. And the part that I find to be completely nonsense is the fact that releasing these long notes late in the new engine doesn't actually give you any misses. What? So then, why add this feature in the first place? If releasing them early gives us a punishment, releasing them late should also give us the same punishment. And that's not the case at all. To me, this new mechanic just feels really inconsistent. And the next big problem is when you get to see some FNF shorts that had notes inside the long notes. While achievable in the old engine with just a couple of accuracy drops, it will never be possible because of this new feature being a thing in the new engine. People hate this feature so much that the devs themselves are literally planning to revert the old long note mechanics back to the game like how it used to be. So I'm looking forward to seeing long notes actually getting a proper fix, because right now, it's just not working. Now let's talk about the main highlight of this video. The biggest problem in this entire update, the input system. Players all over the community are reporting that the gameplay just feels off. Many are saying that the gameplay is way more strict than before. Hitting notes is harder, it feels less responsive. And some players are even quitting entirely because of how frustrating the new input system is. So what's really going on here? Well, the input system is the core of any rhythm game. If it doesn't feel good, the game doesn't work, period. And a good input system relies on 6 key things. Latency is really important. Every millisecond counts. Even a tiny bit of input delay can cause you to miss notes, even if your timing feels perfect. Input buffering is really important too. This lets the game register your inputs slightly early, crucial for fast or dense charts. Without proper buffering, you will feel like the game is punishing you even when you're technically hitting the notes. And of course, having multiple device support is also essential. The game should work seamlessly across keyboards, mobile touchscreens, and controllers. If certain setups feel worse or broken, that's a huge issue for accessibility. Accuracy windows are another thing. For example, a SIG might give you a 50 millisecond window before or after the note. If these are too tight or poorly calibrated, the game might feel unfair. Consistency is what comes after. If the input system is inconsistent, sometimes registering hits, sometimes not, it can break the player's trust completely. And last but not least, performance optimization is the cherry on top. If the input system lags because of the frame drops, animations, or poorly optimized code, it can make the game unplayable. In conclusion, if the input system is not responsive, consistent, and accurate, the entire experience falls apart, no matter how good the visuals, music, or UI are. Right now, Funky Fighters' new engine is failing in several of these areas, and that's why the gameplay feels so uncomfortable. People just want the old engine back. When the update dropped, the hype was massive, but soon after, the player count started dropping fast. At the time that I'm recording this, concurrent players have dropped to as low as 800, a number Funky Friday hasn't seen in years, even during long update droughts. That alone shows just how serious this input issue really is, and it's only one of the main reasons this update is being seen as a failure. Now let's talk about minor things that didn't really affect the game's reputation, but could still be annoying for many. Let's start with morphs. Morphs are characters that we can equip and walk around the map. Not only that you can equip it to walk around the map, but you can play with it too. But for some reason, morphs are now moved to become animations, and you can no longer use it to walk around the map. Is it because of game fam? Or did the devs just not see any reason to keep the game around? It's hard to say. There's been no official explanation. Another small but noticeable change is the removal of codes from the game. In the old engine, players could redeem codes for free animations, points, and other cosmetics. It was a nice little bonus that gave the community something to look forward to, especially during updates or events. But now, the code system is completely gone. There's no option to enter codes anywhere, and naturally, a lot of players have been asking why. To be fair, it's not a game-breaking issue, but it's still something that should probably be there. And yes, even the songs themselves are not safe from problems in this update. There are multiple tracks in the game right now that are completely broken or just unfinished. For example, in Parasite Hi-Fi, there are notes straight up missing. In Together Forever from vs PB, the game literally counts your entire combo as misses. It's hard to enjoy the game when you're playing silence instead of music. I really hope the devs will fix this soon, because these kinds of issues do make the overall experience felt a bit unfinished. And of course, we can't forget about the fact that we had to wait 10 seconds just to start a solo match. I mean, imagine you're grinding for such a high score, trying to full combo everything and set achievements. If you mess up and want to restart, that's 10 seconds every single time. Over time, it can become seriously frustrating, especially for players who just want to get straight into matches quickly. Sure, it's a minor issue, but it's just something that they had no reason to remove from the game, and a lot of players are hoping it gets removed in a future patch. I'm just going to say it, even the catalog avatar feature is a mess. Right now, it's incredibly buggy. Avatar previews are broken, you can't save your custom avatars properly, and when you try to reset your character, things go completely off the rails. One of the two things usually happens. Either your avatar gets weirdly mixed with another one, or your saved avatars just disappear completely from the menu. And when that happens, your only option is to rejoin the game just to switch avatars once again. But if you reset again, yep, you're right back to where you started. It's honestly ridiculous. This system is almost useless in its current state. It's meant to give players more customization and fun, but right now, it's just broken. I'm sorry y'all, but we are still not done. Even the scoring system is broken. Some songs right now are giving out completely absurd scores due to what looks like a broken multiplier system. Take Jungkook's theme from vs Tohu or King Rev Mix for example. These scores can give players scores over 4 to 5 million points, which just shouldn't be possible. To put that into perspective, before the engine rewrite, the highest possible score you could set was around 2.71 million on Fallen Symphony, and it has more notes than 2 of those songs. So how does it make any sense that songs with fewer notes are suddenly giving out way higher scores? Well, it doesn't. This completely breaks the game and needs to be fixed ASAP. There are still tons of other bugs and problems that the community has found, but honestly, I won't have enough time to cover all of them in one video. At this point, it's clear that this update was a mess. Yes, it did go through some public testing, but it just wasn't enough. It probably needed more hands-on feedback from experienced video game players. Those are the people who could have caught these issues early and helped shape the update into something better. And the worst part, even if these bugs get fixed, most players might not even know this, because that bad first impression already pushed them away. The launch could have gone so much better if things were handled right from the start. So, what can be done to fix this and make sure something like this doesn't happen again? The first thing I would do is bring back the old input system. The previous engine was already solid. It passed the test for most players. From there, add the new engine's UI to the gameplay, such as the new gameplay info. We will both get to enjoy the great input system, along with a new UI that gives the new engine its own vibe, without messing the core input feel. A win-win. That alone would make such a huge difference. I will also make the settings more simple. In my opinion, the settings menu is kind of overwhelming. I would add a preview button, maybe an eye icon, so players could instantly see what a setting does before toggling it. Kind of like how we preview animations. This would make people have less confusion with the update. And of course, we should be able to save our presets properly, walk around and roleplay with morphs like before, use and save avatars in the catalog avatar creator without glitches, redeem codes like we used to, and start a solo match instantly, no more waiting 10 seconds. These may sound like small things, but together, they have a big impact on how the game feels. That's probably the final touch for this video. Just to be clear, this video isn't meant to send hate toward the Funky Friday team. It's meant to raise awareness and help the devs understand what went wrong, so they can fix things and bring the game back to the community we all enjoy. One thing I do appreciate is how quickly they have responded with bug fixes. In just a few days after release, they were already patching major issues. That shows that they are listening, but there's still a long way to go. To be honest, this is probably the hardest challenge the devs have ever faced. Rewriting the entire game from scratch and expecting everyone to be satisfied? That's not easy. It takes time, precision, and a lot of community feedback. So I hope this video can serve as a message to the team. Yes, time is running out, but there's still a chance to turn this around. And with that being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.